Hey everyone, it's Outrageous Lemons here to talk about the June update to PvP and PvE, all the subclasses, and there are many changes here. So what I'm going to be talking about this video is all the subclass related changes. What I hope to talk about next video is all of the weapon changes. So we're going to start off with the Hunter, because they seem to have gotten the biggest overhaul, as Bungie mentioned in the patch notes. You guys can check it out on their website. So the Gunslinger, the grenades, the trip mine, I know I've been killed by it a lot. It's a good grenade. I thought it was fairly balanced. But so what they've made it do is, like a lightning grenade now, it will not stick to a target. So if you get a direct hit on someone, it will not stick to them. Instead, it will bounce off them and be armed and stick to the whatever it hits next, be it a wall, a ceiling, or the floor. I personally like this change because I don't use the the trip mine grenade a lot. I think it helps make it more of a trap than an offensive grenade, because I remembered using the gunslinger, I'll just huck it at someone out of panic half the time. So now that doesn't work as much. It's kind of good. I don't mind that. The decrease in damage, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense, because I think that if you're setting a trap and someone gets caught in that trip mine, they should be dead unless they are high armor. Now I think most lower armor builds can survive it, so watch out for that now, just in case you use it a lot. Let's talk about the swarm grenade. I like it personally as a grenade. I was underwhelmed by it in PvP, obviously. It doesn't do too much in the way of damage, but now I'm curious to see how much better it is and whether you can actually one-shot kill someone if all of the small munitions land properly. So Golden Gun got a decent change. So they boosted the damage, so I'm pretty sure you can one-shot most people now with a Golden Gun in PvP, and I think it really needed that change in PvE because it was just not killing majors unless you had the Celestial Nighthawk. So, well, mages and ultras. No, mostly majors. Anyway, I think the Deadeye change is really interesting because it gives you another damage buff. So I really like that, because I think I'm going to have some fun builds now in PvE with the Gunslinger, whereas most people have been playing Night Stalker in PvE. PvP, I don't think that changes Golden Gun much, so I don't think people need to worry about that too much. The Throwing Knife is interesting because they decreased the damage buff, but they changed the perk for the Circle of Life. So instead of Circle of Life being Throwing Knife kills give you extended Golden Gun while it's active, it now gives you a cooldown decrease in your Golden Gun when you get precision kills with Throwing Knife. And I think that's going to really change a lot of the PvP dynamic, especially for the, I guess, higher skill players. It gives you a lot more utility on that Throwing Knife, because now you can get not only Knife Juggler resets your cooldown, but the precision kills now give you a decreased time to your next Golden Gun, so it gives you a lot more incentive to land those precision kills. The +1 armor I don't think is a big deal that they removed it from Circle of Life. Not too big of a deal in my opinion. So Scavenger, I really like that perk personally. I use it a lot because I like having grenades and melees to toss around all the time. As you guys might know from my gameplay, I like to use my weapons. I like to use my utility, especially with all my equipment. I don't think the Chain of Woe adding the +1 recovery really matters too much. Neither does the +1 recovery being removed from Over the Horizon. Blech, I can totally talk right now. Blade Dancers, I don't know why they did this to the Blade Dancer Super. The Blink Strike, I understand that they decreased the lunge distance a little bit because it was kind of really big. Blink incurring a -1 recovery penalty, I don't see how that changes too much. I guess if you're trying to escape someone as either a Voidwalker or a Blade Dancer, that'll affect you, but I don't think it'll be that big of a change for people who play PvP. The Backstab, I'm glad they're trying to fix it. I don't know how well this will go. I do have to check it out in PvP myself. I have not looked at it yet. So I think that it's a good thing they're changing Backstab. Escape Artist, the invisibility effect being delayed, I feel like makes it not very viable, because especially for PvE now, especially like for people who want to run Crota again because it's fun, you can't really use it to escape the AI or PvP players as easily at all, because you have a delay. So they're like, oh, I see you. Oh, you're invisible now. They still know exactly where you are. I don't understand that change too much, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I'll try using it, see how it goes. Fast twitch, they decreased the recharge time. I don't see a big deal with that because you can't couple that with backstab. So I don't. It's not going to reduce it by too much. So I don't really see a big change here. But I guess it's just to balance out all the other changes they made to the other melees. So nothing to complain about there. Arcblade, really, I like the duration increase by 2 seconds. The hit search range is also a good thing because I found that when I was like trying to slash someone, it wouldn't really track as well as I would have liked. Because it's already a close range super, you want it to be able to hit. I really don't like that they added a cooldown between Arcblade swings because that really takes away the whole playstyle with the Blade Dancer, which is a lot of mobility, a lot of quick, agile movement, or weapon handling if you're running, what's it called? The quick draw perk. You know what I mean. And if you don't, you can look at the perks. The energy cost per swing is increased. I don't like that. Even though they added the cooldown, I see why they increased the energy cost per swing, because the cooldown, so you don't have as many swings anyway. Energy cost on hit decreased. That's not too bad. Again, I guess it helps with the Arcblade being more viable for a duration super. But again, taking away the cooldown, adding a cooldown while you're airborne really hampers this class now. I'm curious to see how it changes how I play it, because I really like the blinking and swiping around while I'm active. I like the Encore adding damage because it really needed a damage boost, especially in AI battles and PvE. Arcblade base damage increase, very good. Vanish is cool now because, like, say, Transcendence, it'll cast the extra perk on when you pop your super. So when you pop your super now, you'll turn invisible, which is really nice. Showstopper, they extended the damage radius both for PvE and I feel like PvP because no one used it. They all used the wave instead of the AoE around you. And then, yes, more Arcblade damage is always a good thing because it really didn't have a place in PvE. Night Stalkers, so all spike grenades got this change. So they've changed the rate at which it pulses but increased the damage, so there's no total damage change at all. So they've halved the amount of times it pulses but doubled the damage per pulse. Shadow Shot now automatically will suppress people when you hit them instead of being killed by a hammer after you hit someone, which is great. Smoke, they changed it a lot, so they've increased its impact damage, and then they've changed the suppression, so now you can get out of it a lot easier, so you can't get wombo comboed as easy. So again, the full patch notes are on the Destiny website. Go check them out, but I think this is overall a good thing because now it requires a lot more of a skill shot than having to just toss it and be like, oh, they're dead, because they can't get away. So they've changed Courage of the Pack a little bit. Don't think it'll affect much. Might be better for PvE. Don't see it being used for PvP. Lockdown is nice. You get a lot more play with the smoke grenade, I feel like. As well as having Shade Step being a single dodge is interesting and nice because now it kind of puts it on a much more of a you have to choose when you're going to use that Shade Step. You can't just Shade Step, and be out of there. So again, Spike Grenades applies to all, and then Shade Step and Twilight Garrison have the similar nerf where they only have a 1 dodge and then a cooldown. As far as supers go, Hammer of Soul damage has been increased, which is nice against AI because I felt like it wasn't killing mid-tier enemies that well, like say a Fallen Captain Taken Captain with a Solar Shield wouldn't really do a lot of damage. You'd have to use 3 hammers sometimes. Fist of Havoc again, base damage increase good. Nova Bomb base damage increase really good, especially against AI. They buffed it another 50%. And then Storm Trance, 10% damage increase, pretty useful because it ticks so many times, so that 10% increase is really significant. Sunbreakers, they buffed Hammer of Soul a little bit, so you're not an unstoppable tank like it used to be at the start of Taken King, but the travel speed has been increased by like next to nothing, 1.3%, so that won't change much. The detonation radius for the hammer has been increased again because people have been getting, like a lot of things where they just can't hit people with the hammer, which is okay. I think that'll put the Hammer of Soul in a good place compared to many of the other classes. Now the big change is Sunsinger, for me anyway, because they finally touched Viking Funeral. Finally. So I'll go through everything first, but the Firebolts have been nerfed in of themselves, so the amount of time it takes for them to seek you out has been increased, so you have more time to get away. They have decreased the radius in which they detonate as well, so you have to be more skillful with your shot, and I think this is a really important change to PvP, because now we'll see a lot more diverse Warlock builds. It won't just be, if you're going sweaty, you're going Sunsinger, Firebolts, Viking Funeral, Touch of Flame. I feel like that's going to change a bit. Some people will still use it, but it will definitely change the PvP aspect, in my opinion. Now, Viking Funeral now does not extend the duration, but similar to Melting Point, it will weaken the target. I don't know by how much. Again, you can check the patch notes if you want to see that. But it will weaken the target to other sources of damage. So again, there will be different builds. I see a Sunbreakers, so you get 2 Solars with Touch of Flame and Viking Funeral. That I could see being a viable build now, in my opinion. I really want to try it out. I'll hopefully have some footage of that later. So, yes. Oh, 5%. So you get 5% more damage from all sources, and you can stack that effect. So that's very interesting. Flame Shield now has a delay, so you close quarters Warlocks will more likely trade now if you guys both melee at the same time. They won't get their overshield, so that's kind of nice. So you do have to hit with the Warlock melee. You just aren't automatically like immune to a melee back, essentially, which is really, really nice. So yeah, those are all the subclass changes on the Bungie website. Again, you can check them out. I may leave a link in the description. If not, you can just Google it, or again, go to the Bungie website. It's fairly easy to find. For now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and my quick rundown of the class balancing. Overall, I really like it. I think it will give people a lot more freedom with how they build their subclasses for the Crucible. I think that it also gives you a lot more freedom, especially in PvE, because of the damage buffs they gave a lot of the supers, so that now you can feel like your Fist of Havoc will go and will destroy whatever you hit with it, and your Golden Gun will just take that captain out one shot, no problem type thing. So overall, I'm really happy. I'm really excited to try it all out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like if you like this format. I'm just putting PvP gameplay in the background that I had backlogged from like a month ago. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and feel free to come check out my other content and subscribe if you want to see more from me. This has been Outrageous Lemons, also known as RDub, and I will see you in the next video. Meow.